Monday, August 22nd. We are very happy to be here at our press conference. And we're going to get started with our press conference a little bit later, but we're going to start with, first of all, this week is the kickoff to football, high school football this weekend. And no better game than to have on the first game of the schedule, a game I remember my 4 years of high school between Washington and PHS starting off the season. Now behind you, and you get to see, you can't see all of our staff, including David Forte, who has his Letterman jacket on today. So we are very proud of our association, what we see with both high schools in so many ways, what also permeates through to so many of the employees and certainly even a few council members from Washington High School. Myself, a Washington grad of '88, but again, my much like Charlie back there, a house divided. I've got children, and both my children, my father, my aunt, my uncle, my grandmother, my grandfather all went to PHS. So we are very much a house divided. But like so much, there's only this one day a year on Friday that's coming up that does that. In so many ways, these two schools make up so much of what we do and what we want to achieve and what we see great things. It is amazing to see the talent, both from an academic, athletic, cultural, and a variety of other ways that comes from both of these high schools. And we're very blessed to be a part of it. So I'm very fortunate today to have Superintendent Smith, along with Principal Soraya Miller and also Principal Rick Shackle, and they're going to say a couple of words, and then we will be happy to take your questions on this. But I was going to ask the superintendent if he wanted to come first and just say a couple of words.
Well, thank you, Mayor. We're excited about the start of football season, the start of the school year, and this game has great tradition and is deeply rooted and very special. So we're excited about our student athletes having the opportunity to participate in such a great event, to be a part of this great long-lasting tradition. And I'm sure there's been a little bit of talk about who's going to come out on top and be the winner. So there are various opinions throughout the community. But I want to thank the mayor for this great initiative on having this event, this classic start. Last year was the first year, and have a fantastic trophy here. And I think it's really important to celebrate the long-standing traditions of two incredible high schools that represent the city of Pensacola in truly outstanding fashion. We're excited for both high schools. They've started off strong this year. Their kids are in a great situation to learn and to thrive, and engaging in athletics is that special piece that makes high school even more fun and more memorable. So we're looking forward to a great game where our student athletes get to participate, our bands play, our fans are there. Should be a great night. So Mayor, thank you.
Tim, thank you. Thank you. And I would, while she's a newcomer to our community, she's hit the ground running, and she's doing an awesome job at Pensacola High School. Our principal, Soraya Miller. Principal Miller, please come forward. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mayor. I am Soraya Miller, and I'm the very proud principal at Pensacola High School, and we want to welcome everybody to come on out and watch our Tigers beat the Wildcats and go ahead and bring this trophy home exactly where it needs to be. We are very excited about our program with our brand new football coach, Coach Cantrell Tyson. The boys have been working very hard, and they have started out on a good note. I'm joined here today by my athletic director, Mr. Terrence Harris, and he came out to also support. And we just want to let Rich Shackle know that even though this is rivalry love, we will bring that trophy home where it needs to be. So come on out, support our students, support our band, and just have a good time on Friday night. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Soraya. Thank you. Well, I also have here Principal of Washington High School, Rick Shackle. Rick, glad to have you come forward. Thank you.
Thank you, and appreciate it. Of course, I have my athletic director here, Jade Brown, and certainly congratulations, as this is her first year. And we go back, and I'm not sure why Miss Miller, they say she's a newcomer, but she's come into Northwest Florida, and after a year, she's taken over. So we're certainly glad to have her. It's a very respected rivalry. Come on out to Sherman Robinson Stadium Friday night, 7 o'clock. And I know that we're going to have to be on our A game to win. And so, Ms. Miller, I hope your boys have the game of their life. And respectfully, I hope you lose by 1. And if you do want to borrow the trophy, there's a case right outside my office where it's been for a year. So, again, 7 o'clock Friday night. Come on out. Look forward to it. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you. And this will be special for me. It'll be special to have it at Sherman Robinson Field. When I was at Washington High School, Sherman Robinson was the principal there. Great leader. Certainly, I know if I run into anybody from Washington High School that was there in my time, certainly they remember Sherman and Mr. Robinson. He was a great principal there. So glad to be there on that field. I also did want to notice that coming in during Councilman Delarian Wiggins also has his blue and white on, so he's ready to go. So this should be a lot of fun. A couple of things that I said earlier about what these schools do. There are a number of things that we do here. We've done our summer intern program. I see Lawrence Powell in the back. We have our summer intern program. We had about 17 students this year participate in that. We had youth council, which has almost 25, 30 students. We're about to be putting that out. So your students at both your schools, I mean, this is where we go for our students. They certainly have their first preference. I hope they'll apply. I thought it was great last year. We had a really good, we even took a field trip to Tallahassee, really taught them about leadership and some things. And then also, I know we work with Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and there are about 17 high school students that come here that we mentor across the way. For us, it's one thing that we certainly don't do education. That's what Tim and his team, Superintendent Smith and his team do, and the principals do. But what we can do at the City of Pensacola is provide an enrichment opportunity, and we can provide those extra opportunities for our students, teaching them about leadership skills, introducing them to great public service careers here, and that's what we've been trying to do. So we're very excited. And then finally, for myself, I believe I wrote both schools a $500 check to their programs. Because I certainly believe in the hard work that they're doing and what they do every day. So again, I'm excited about it. I'm going to give you all a couple of moments if you have any questions for them. But otherwise, look forward to being at the game 7 o'clock on Friday night over at Washington High School at Sherman Robinson Field. So look forward to seeing you there. We will have the trophy. We will give it out to the winning team, and we'll engrave their score, and then we'll let them have it for another year. So that will be fun. But again, I'll let y'all ask any questions. I certainly appreciate everybody coming out here today. The work of these two schools, they might get recognized here for the athletic event, but we are involved in these two schools every day and trying to teach students how to be better citizens and better leaders, and that's what we certainly believe here at the City of Pensacola. But I will open it up to any questions y'all might have. Thank you very much for being here. Wish best of luck. Look forward to seeing y'all Friday night on the field.
Thanks, sir.
Can we do a quick group
Oh,
photo?
absolutely. Absolutely. You want us to bring
Yeah.
this over here?
He gets to
Come
hold
on,
it.
come on. We'll put the
Like
principals
that.
in the middle. We'll put the principals in the middle.
Maybe, can you scooch over a little bit so I can get this?
Oh,
background?
okay. All right. They have to tell me where to.
Yeah, can we do the athletic director
Yes,
as well?
of course.
Perfect.
Come on. Go call it the takeover.
There you go.
All right, perfect.
Hey, I got the chief of police back there. Be careful.
All right, 1, 2, 3, I'll take a few. All right, thank you.
All right. As you can see,
Thank you.
David, our deputy administrator here, came with his letter jacket on, so he's already got his time when he was on the field there at Washington High School. So we certainly appreciate that.
Can I share one more thing?
Absolutely. Come on up here.
I just wanted to share one more thing too. I just want to thank our principals, Ms. Miller and Mr. Shackle. They do a great job and they lead two outstanding schools. So thank you all very much. We appreciate that, all the work you do. And two, thank you for the partnership. We just completely are honored and blessed to work so closely with you, Mr. Mayor, our police chief, Randall, the entire city. It's a great partnership, great teamwork, and we talk about unity all the time. It's here and alive. Thank
We
you.
certainly appreciate it. It does take a team, and that's part of it. And as I said last year when we started this, I played football my freshman year at Washington, and while I didn't see the field of action a lot, it did teach me a lot about leadership skills and being on a team and working to an ultimate goal. So there's a lot that goes on. Sometimes not all of it happens on the playing field. It happens in the practice beforehand. So it certainly is a lot about that as well. Thank y'all very much. Y'all can leave and go back and get some students stalled. I'm going to try to take care of the rest of the things we have here. And thank you to all of our staff who came out decked out in their colors back there. I know that Councilwoman Broughton also is a Washington alum. So I'm just going to say, I know on that Hall of Fame at PHS, I see a lot of former elected leaders. But right now, I think Washington High School, we're up 3-0. So on elected leadership. So anyways, we'll see certainly as that goes forward. All right, this is a reminder of the resident satisfaction survey that is happening now. We are conducting our annual resident satisfaction survey with the UWF Haas Center, and we encourage all city residents to participate. City residents are asked to complete the survey online at uwf.edu/Haas resident survey or by telephone at 850-495-2666 by Friday, September 9th. So again, please take a moment to fill out that satisfaction survey, and we look forward to hearing from you. Cervantes boat ramp update. I wanted to let several of you know because I continue to get questions about it. I know one of the ramps is down at this moment. We have the funding, we have everything in place, and we are planning to get that taken care of as soon as the repairs will be made, as soon as the season is over. I see Adrian in the back nodding his head. This is an update just to let you know that all repairs to the Cervantes Street boat launch will be happening once the boating season is over, and we'll kind of shut it down, and we'll do 2 new ramps, and we'll have both those piers rebuilt. So by next spring, Adrian, they will be in place and open and available. So this is an effort to minimize our impact to you while you're currently using it actively. And again, we're waiting till the boating season stops, and then we will go forward from there. We have the funding, and we'll already be putting it in the queue to go ahead and get it from Public Works, I'm sure, get it bid out, and so have that ready to go. We do expect those to be completed by spring of 2023. This week, we will have a dedication on August 25th. I hope you'll come for the John Sunday Junior Plaza. We hope you'll join us for the dedication ceremony. That will be on August 25th at 2 p.m. The dedication will take place on the North Plaza of City Hall, which has been renamed the John Sunday Junior Plaza. District 5 Councilwoman Tignati Broughton will also, who's the president and founder of the John Sunday Society, will be joining me for the event. Immediately following the dedication, attendees are invited to enjoy some ice cream sundaes with the Sunday family descendants. John Sunday Jr. was a very successful African-American business contractor, community leader, and politician here in Pensacola. He served on the city council in the late 1880s and also represented Escambia County in the Florida House of Representatives in 1874. We look forward to recognizing Mr. Sunday and his many contributions to Pensacola, so we hope you'll come out on the 25th at 2 o'clock and join us. This is a reminder that the next Mayor's Cleanup is this Saturday on August 27th in an area of Spanish Trail, off east of Spanish Trail and north of Summit. So this includes Bay Cliff, Lavalley, Gaborone, Bohemia, and all those surrounding neighborhoods. Please check your cleanup map to confirm that this is your cleanup area. This event allows City of Pensacola sanitation customers in the cleanup area to leave eligible items at the curb for pickup free of charge. To learn more, visit cityofpensacola.com. And then save the date. We have a town hall meeting for District 3. Speaking of that's basically District 3 is going to have the cleanup. But we also have a save the date for September 27th. Councilman Jones and I will have a town hall at 5:30 on Tuesday, September 27th. The town hall will take place in the Gull Point Resource Center located at 7000 Spanish Trail. We encourage all citizens to come provide their input and discuss priorities and goals for the city of Pensacola. So again, that's a little bit about what is happening Here in the city of Pensacola, we have a lot of things going on, both within the city, but outside, and things that we're influenced as well. We very much appreciate all those associated with both PHS and with Washington High School being here today. As I said, so many families here have deep ties, one way or the other. In fact, as I said, myself and the last two mayors before me both attended one of those schools, and then their children, every one of them, their children went to the other school and graduated. So it is kind of a unique situation that we find ourselves, and lots of families have connections to both of those schools. So this should be a great event. It's always fun to have those opportunities and friendly rivalries. But we do believe both of these schools produce some of the best talent we have, and we're very thankful for the work that goes on at both of them. That's a little bit about where we are. I'm happy to answer your questions, so I look forward to taking anything that you might have. Yes, Jeremy.
Can you comment a little bit about City Council's offer to Baptist regarding the park property of the house, and particularly the affordable housing?
We're gonna get back, and we're gonna try to. There were a couple of things we wanted to do for the individuals. The question was about what came out of Sunday night with Baptist Hospital, and we've been talking about getting the park that we want to create there for affordable housing, as well as there are some other amenities that we're going to bring into that redevelopment. And again, the things that were referenced, obviously, Baptist had said they could build probably 500 to 900 affordable and workforce housing units in that area. And again, I've yet to have a chance to sit down with them, but that's part of the deal. We definitely want to get that put together and figured out what's going on. My understanding is, just for all of you out there, affordable, attainable housing is about 80% of the mean income, and workforce housing is 120%. Now, affordable housing is defined by the federal government. Workforce housing is defined by the state government, but it's about that difference between 80% and below would be affordable, and that gap between 80% and 120% is workforce. So the goal is try to find as many workforce and affordable units as we can. Certainly that were proposed to us originally were ideas that there could be probably anywhere from 500 to 900. So again, Jeremy, we're going to go forward and try to figure out what we can do within that mix, and how we can create a good mix and a number that we feel like will generate what we need for the city of Pensacola. Like I said before, we made a commitment. We were looking to do 500 affordable units within 5 years. I believe we're somewhere in the 150 units right now. And again, that goal went through COVID when we happened to have some of the craziest time, but we're still at 150 units since we took that goal. You know, I would love to see as many affordable units as we can. I'd love to see as many workforce units as we can. Both of those things are critical to making affordability a part of the city of Pensacola. So I think overall, however we do that with Baptist Hospital will be something that happens. The other part of that was going to be established is the price at which we buy the land that's going to be a park. And I think obviously what we came down to was 500 affordable and 500,000 for the land. I would rather us see if we could do something more with the land. I'm willing to pay more for the land if I can get more units. And they may not be all affordable, but they could be workforce. And I think if we could get more units, I think that would be the goal of what we'd like to do and what we'd like to see done. Again, we don't have to do anything if they don't produce units for us. But it's basically sending our intent to the development community that says, hey, if you come and do this and you build these kind of units, we will absolutely make these kind of commitments to you for amenities. So from our standpoint, I've got to get together with Baptist. I know they've had some things that they've had their hands full with some things that have happened recently with the state and with the hospitals. So they haven't been as focused, but I did talk to Jen Grow last week, and at some point I'm going to get together with she and Mark Faulkner, and we're going to see what we can do. But ideally, I'd love to see us find a way to put more affordable and workforce and figure out what a good split is there. And I'm happy to bring that back to council and see what we can find. Yes.
Can you comment
I mean, I'll be happy. I'm not aware of any delay. I know that they're trying to figure out the best way to get it done with all the factors that happen, but I'll be happy to let Amy Tootle get together. My understanding is, as well, from what I saw, I think ECUA responded back that part of the delay was getting some of the stuff, simply some of the supplies that we had were not going to be able to be here until October. So I'll let Amy Tootle kind of give you some more. But I do remember ECUA is like, hey, we've ordered this stuff, but please understand everything is supply back ordered.
Before Amy comes up, do you see that? And yeah, it was a supply chain issue, but do you see that as impacting the timeline on reopening versus speed?
We still have a year. I mean, I'll let Amy, forecast that, but I think there's plenty of time to continue to figure out where we are. We have a pretty good idea from the information that we took before where the hot spots are. So we should know in those areas once we can get in there. I think once we find the problem areas, I think it should be, if you can find them, that's going to be fairly easy to fix them after that. I mean, I don't think that should delay anything at this particular time. You won't finish Bruce Beach until probably August of next year, and that's assuming no weather. And we live in a place where the weather typically impacts construction projects, so it could easily slip back into September, October of next year. So, again, I think this is realistic. We're still within a year's time frame. And I think the construction of solving the problem, if we do find contamination or cross entry of the stormwater, that should be fairly easy to fix once we find it. The question is more finding it, and hopefully we're going to get cracking on that a little bit as soon as we can get all the materials we need. But I'll let Ms. Tootle speak to that.
And I'm not sure who to direct this question to, but what is, solving it or fixing it? What is that like?
Well,
and you'll say we're clean and solved?
Well, I think the case in stormwater is we have a pipe that's collecting a lot of water, so it's not like we have it's not like when you have a contamination typically of a gas station or an old dry cleaners or something like that. I mean, we know where the water's coming from. We just got to figure out the sources. Our feeling is that somewhere there was probably cross connection that happened. This is not unusual for cities of our age. 100 years ago, it would have been seemed like perfectly normal to dump sewage into the bay. We don't do that now, but I mean, again, think about things 100 years ago. It's amazing. We just recently went through and redid all the terracotta pipe. We had all of our gas in the downtown area was done by terracotta pipe, which also seems crazy to think about today. But these are some of the things that you realize when you work in a place that's over 100 years old and been developed for over 100 years. So there's definitely going to be places that we realize we have some things we shouldn't have. So I think more replacing those connections, but I'll let experts talk to that. But I think once you replace those connections, you no longer have the contamination. And I think that it kind of solves itself from there. But I'll let Amy speak to that more specifically, and she'll be a heck of a lot more technical than I can be. So I'll let her come up here.
Good morning. So some good developments that have occurred since we last spoke last week was that ECUA was able to locate some extra materials and kind of bargain with the county. So we're able to kind of trade off with the county to be able to use some of the detergent testing materials that they have, and we'll replace them when ours comes in. So we'll be able to start that testing here in September. So that's a positive thing that we can get that going as we had originally anticipated. In terms of the sourcing, that's something that once we locate where the sources are, then we'll have to look at what type of infiltration it is into the storm sewer. And then it could be either a full pipe replacement, a pipe lining. It just depends on what the issue is that we find. On ECUA's note, I can't speak for them, but I would assume that they're going to try to fix it on their end to make sure that wherever there's an infiltration, they'll stop it on their side as well. So really, in terms of what type of fix, it just depends on what the issue is. We're going to continue to try to find these things out, source the issue. We're working with ECUA, we're working with FDEP. It's a good partnership. We're all dedicated to trying to find where the issue is originating from so we can make it right.
But I mean, whatever we find in any of those different solutions, those aren't like huge technical solutions.
Not in terms of technical solutions. The only impediment, and I won't say it's an impediment, it's a challenge, is as it's closer to the bay, you have tidally influenced areas, so it becomes just a little bit more of a challenge in terms of the repair method or the fix. But it's not something that's insurmountable, and I know the mayor and the city council are very dedicated to getting these issues resolved. So whatever we find, we will bring the solution forward and we'll go from there.
I know you say, Mayor, it may be like a quick fix or easy to fix once we locate the problem. But I mean, it seems like it could range from easy to like huge. Where, insofar as funding, what are y'all thinking? I mean, what if it turns out to be you need like some major like stormwater infrastructure upgrade, or it turns out to be like ECUA needs to like line a bunch more of their wastewater infrastructure.
Jeremy, I figure one way or another, we will be able to find out what we need to do. Case in point that's there, it's pipe. So it's not from terrible. If we have to replace it, that would be the most expensive part. At the end of the day, there are things you can do, lining that you can do inside. There are a variety of other things that you can do. So from that standpoint, and I think there's a commitment from the city, and I think there's a commitment from ECUA to figure out how to do this. And I think now's the best time as ever, because if we got into a fix where we needed to do something with funding, I would still say there's NERDA money and other things to do with FDEP. So I think what Amy told you is like we talked about here. I mean, you want to score a touchdown, we got a team working together. We had ECUA, DEP, and the City of Pensacola. One way or another, we're going to get to the goal line. I promise you that. And we may have a couple of fourth downs we got to get through, but one way or another, we're going to get to the goal line. I'm confident we're there. I'm confident now that the team's been put together that that's going to happen. And I'm not that worried about different parts of it here and there. We'll get there. But it's hard to speculate about what was happening. I'll remind you, I remember you asked me about all the different questions, what was going to happen when we had to move everybody out from under I-10. I said, we're going to show there, we're going to have them a place to go, and we're going to move them, and it's all going to happen just like that. And that's exactly the way it happened. Again, there may be things that come up from here to there, but one way or another, I'm very confident in these guys and their ability to do it. And I think when you have DEP, the city, and ECUA working together, I'm confident we're going to get this thing solved. Thank you. Any other questions? Well, thank you very much for being here today. Please remember to get out there and support your local high school and their athletics program, and certainly support those schools. They need support in what's going on. It's a lot of different ways you can help students. Certainly one of those is in the athletics and supporting them, and we hope you'll come out Friday night for the game, and we look forward to it. And I guess on behalf of Councilman Wiggins, Councilman Broughton, Chief Randall, and Mr. Forte, I'm going to leave just saying, go Cats. Oh, we hadn't stopped. Tomorrow is election day. Thank you for saying that. I did say that on a radio interview this morning. Tomorrow is obviously election day, so we hope you will take advantage of that opportunity. I know many of us, I voted this weekend. I think they when I talked to the supervisor, it sounded like there was about 30,000 votes, either by mail-in or by early voting. So while early voting is not open today, all the polls will be open tomorrow. We encourage you to vote and get out there and do your civic duty again. These candidates have spent a lot of time. I see one of them in the back there, but they've spent a lot of time working on this, and certainly they look forward to seeing you make your selection, and you have that opportunity tomorrow, so please take full advantage of it. Thank you.